There are some journeys that I made. He just said, you have to go to Lagos. Then I was a student. From Kaduna State to Lagos State. I went there and I was wondering, why did I even come here? Because I put into, they chose me to be, to stand as a protocol. That was the first time I did protocol job. To stand in, to be a protocol. And I was supposed to go bring ministers from their hotel rooms to the venue. And I noticed that I kept doing that and I kept, missing the ministrations. At a point, I got frustrated. I was like, why did I come all the way from Kaduna State to Lagos State for this meeting? I'm doing protocol and I'm not getting anything. That was what I felt. But the main idea of that journey, the main lessons of that journey of that going to Lagos was in the journey. On my way back, I learned valuable lessons that have stayed with me till today. On that journey, I learned to trust God when nobody was there. Because I had to leave. I had told my parents, maybe this is the first time they will hear this story from me. I escaped to Lagos for a meeting. I was so passionate about God and I wanted to be in this conference. I didn't even know how to get there. I didn't even have the money. But somehow I got the money and I joined the company and we went to Lagos. But I have to be back home on Fridays. Because Friday was the day I must be home. I was staying in the hostel. I must be home. So I said, I had calculated everything and I was like, okay, it finishes on Wednesday, we journey on Thursday, by Friday I'm home. My parents are not going to know. I will just appear. That was what happened. I went and I thank God for Pastor Arome. Then he was Pastor Arome. We were not, were we in courtship? I can't even remember. But, were we in courtship then? No, good. We were not in courtship. But I was banking on traveling back with him. Why? Because I felt, okay, he's a man. If there's anything, I can put my trust in this man who is also traveling. Because he said he had to get back to work. He was working at the time. I had to get back to work, I think Thursday or so. So I was banking on him. Oh, thank God I won't have to travel alone. Because I came with a company, something happened, they were all not able to come back. That was where my problem started. And I started thinking of the journey back home alone. I was filled with fear. I had never taken on a night trip by myself. And my parents don't even know that I even traveled. And so something happened and they had to stop him from traveling on Thursday. My only hope. And that was it. So that hope now had been dashed. No, Pastor Arome, at least nothing will happen to you on the road. This one is like spirit. So I heard the bad news that he wouldn't be able to go. But he said he would just pray for me, and he saw that I got home. I said, okay, thank you. Immediately they dropped me at the park and they all waved goodbye and left. I was alone. That was the first time I felt so alone and scared. Life's journey can be scared. It can be scary. It can be alone. It can be lonely. And I saw that. I said, God, okay, I quickly looked for a woman to identify with. That okay, I'm a female, so I'll just attach myself to a female who will be talking and gisting and going. 9 o'clock, it was time for us to go in. As we got in, the boss, I had calculated the timing that by so time I should be walking into my house. Now, something happened along Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. There was a problem. We were in these big buses, and there were tankers everywhere. There was go-slow. An accident had happened somewhere. That bus did not move until somewhere around 2 a.m. instead of 9 p.m. I had calculated it. I said, this calculation is not going to work. They are going to catch me today. Somehow we kept moving. Suddenly, somewhere in Abuja, the bus broke down. I said, God. I was like, God, please, let. I started praying for the mechanic and the tire or whatever was wrong. I prayed. We started moving again. I looked at the time. I said, I'm short. This time is getting short. I got to Kaduna. That bus was supposed to get to Kano and pass through Zaria where I will drop. But the bus finally died in Kaduna. And I was like, where am I? How am I going to get home? I only had in my pocket 160 naira. And that was not going to be enough to even take a bus to Zaria. I was done for. I said, I'm done. How do I even get back home? I stood there and everybody was saying, the driver disappeared. We didn't see him anywhere. He just dumped us there. The whole thing was messed up. Some people vexed and left. I said, I cannot vex. I don't have money. Then suddenly the Lord spoke to me. He said, go outside. I went outside. He said, see that man. This man looked very rugged. He was also from that bus, but he was waiting for the driver. He said, wherever the driver went, he's going to come back and he's going to take me to Kano. I looked at him. He was smoking. And God said, meet this man. How can I go and meet somebody who's smoking? Is that where my help will come from? But I summoned courage and I met him. And he told me. He said, I said, were you in the bus? He said, yes, he was in the bus. After all that, he said, wherever that bus driver went, he must come back and take me to Kano. Where are you going? I said, I'm going to Zaria. He said, your own is easy. It's close by. It's just like 45 minutes, you'll be there. I said, yes, but there's a problem. He said, what? I said, I don't have enough money. He said, is it money? Take. I was shocked. The very place I never thought my help would come from, that is where God hid my help. And this man, I don't know if he's an angel that masqueraded like that, honestly, because immediately he told me that. He said, wait here. He ran. He got a motorcyclist, brought him, and told him, this is my sister. I don't know him from anywhere. This is my sister. Make sure you take her to that park there where she will get a car to take her to Zaria. And it was about to rain. He took me, said, let nothing happen to my sister. I said, I went on. Immediately we got to the gate of that park. There was a car that was already coming out. And the only space left was for one. I was in front. Immediately I got there. The driver said, come in. Bring your load. He just took it, put it in the car, and we're going. I was like, wow. I was looking at the time. It's like I just have some few minutes left. How are we going to fly? I've never prayed this kind of prayer. As they were going in the car, I say, driver, match that accelerator. I I was praying it in my heart, and he was flying. He was flying. He was flying. He had a Golf. He was flying. Everybody in the car were complaining. This car, you want to kill us? I say, match that accelerator. Oh! And he was flying. The time was cut short. We arrived. I got into the hostel, packed my things and entered. I was so tired. I didn't sleep. I was tired. I marched into my house. And my mom said, how are you? Fine. They didn't even know where I was coming from, Lagos. They said, you are supposed to wash the bathtub. You have not. I said, we wash it. In the tiredness, I had to wash it and do everything. But I learned something on that journey. It was not about the journey. It was what happened in the journey. About trusting God on my journey. I learned how to trust God practically. And he will drop me. He always does that. He will drop me in the middle of it all. Find me. He would disappear and say, find me. And that's what he's doing to a lot of us. And some of us are going to go into that journey. Even after this meeting, he will say, find me. You have to trust him. You have to trust him. The things might not look good. The things surrounding you, your situations might not look good, but you will say, find me. Find me. Is someone here about to take a journey of trust to find him? Find him. It's the process. The Spirit of God will teach us. It will teach you a lot on this journey as you have decided to go on this journey. The sons of Issachar, they focused on gaining wisdom, discernment, understanding times and seasons, as opposed to the sons of Sceva. These ones, they knew God. Their relationship was intact. And they knew times and seasons. Do you know your times and seasons? We keep missing it because we have refused to zero in and go on that journey with the Lord. This is the time. Enough of circle and cycling, going round and round and round without anything to show for it. Let it show that I met with you was the song you just sang. Let it show that I met with you. Enough of the religious here and there. No, that is not what Jesus wants. A personal relationship. I'd like us to rise up.